Shalom, family. It's good to see you all here. And I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Where I am, a storm has moved in and the winds are picking up. So it's not going to be such a good, you know what? This is a good day. We need rain. We need these things sometimes. We got to stop calling rainy days bad. They're not bad. That's what nourishes all of the vegetation, plants, trees, and flowers and everything on the earth. That can't be a bad thing. And we got to stop calling it bad. That's what I got to break that habit too. It's not bad. These are the things that are supposed to happen on the planet. So it can't be bad. So, y'all, we're going to go over what executive orders Joe Biden signed in 2023. So we're going to go through the whole year of his executive orders. And look, it is very obvious that this administration, they have no intentions on ever doing anything for our people. And if this man makes it back into office, that will be his intention for his second term. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. They're going to keep pushing their benign and neglect agenda on us. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if that's here. Hold on, let me pull it up. Okay. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Please give me a one If you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So let me zoom this in because I want you to see this. All right, let me zoom, make it bigger on the screen. All right, so you can see these are Joseph R. Biden Jr.'s executive orders. Now, what does the R stand for? Races? Okay, I know that was not, that joke fell flat. I admit it. So anyway, let's look at his executive orders for the year. All right. I'm going to start on the bottom, y'all, because that is the beginning of the year. The ones on the top are the end of the year. So we're going to start at the very bottom. We're going to start at the very bottom. So he did an executive order. This one was in February 16th, 2023. And, it only takes maybe a few days for it to publish, and this one published on the 22nd. So, furthering advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Now, ladies and gentlemen, among all of you in here, do you feel that this executive order helped you? I sure don't. All right. So he did another one, March 14th, 2023, reducing gun violence and making our communities safer. I still see a lot of gun violence out here. Do y'all see a reduction in gun violence? Interesting. All right. So he did another one in March 27th, 2023, prohibition on use by the United States government of commercial spyware that poses risk to national security. We already know y'all spy on us. That's not anything new. You know what? They gonna always spy on us. It doesn't matter what this man signs. Okay, so he did another one April 6th, 2023. The modernizing regulatory review. And it does show you the PDFs here. Like if you wanted to read about these, it does pull up a PDF. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he did another executive order on April 18th, 2023, increasing access to high quality care and supporting caregivers. Now, when I went to look, I believe this is for especially veterans in this country. All right. So April 21st, 2023, he did revitalizing our national commitment to environmental justice for all. Well, I remember I did a video on these white people that were dumping their trash in the black neighborhood. They're in Texas. And it's been an ongoing problem for many years. I mean, they were dropping everything off, and I'm not exaggerating. And they never got any cleanup there. Mm-mm. All right. So on the 27th of April, 2023, authority to order the Ready Reserve of the armed forces to active duty to address international drug trafficking. Hmm. All right. So then he did another executive order May 4th, 2023, imposing sanctions on certain persons, destabilizing Sudan and undermining the goal of a democratic transition. Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody on this earth should be weary of democracy that comes from the West. You should never accept their form of democracy. We've been living under that democracy as oppressed people, and their democracy sucks. So if you're in another country, definitely shy away from Western democracy for real, especially if you're the melanated kind of country. Stay away from these folks and their democracy. So anyway, May 9th, 2023, moving beyond C-19 vac requirements for federal workers. Yeah, y'all, do you know they had let a lot of people go in the military for refusing to get that? And I think it was like towards the end of last year, they started calling the same people they let go back. They were letting them back and telling them, you don't have to do that jab if you don't want it. We want you to come back. So they let them all go, and because I guess the military has always been struggling with recruiting, they dragged all those people back. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. June 9th, 2023, advancing economic security for military and veteran spouses, military caregivers, and survivors. So on June 23rd, strengthening access to affordable, high quality uh, contraception and family planning services. On July 13th, ordering the selected reserve and certain members of the individual ready reserve of the armed forces to active duty. Hmm. I wonder how many of these are for Ukraine. I'm just saying. This government will sneak and do all kinds of things. So on July 28th, 2023 amendments to the manual for court martial United States. Hmm. All right. So July 28th, he did another executive order, federal research and development in support of domestic manufacturing and United States jobs. All right, August 9th. So far, I don't see anything in here exclusively for the melanated community, addressing the United States investment in certain national security technologies and products in countries of concern. So that's August 9th. August 14th, we did the United States Coast Guard Officer Personnel Management. That's August 14th. September 9th, exemption of Paul H. Maher from mandatory separation. Hmm, interesting. All right. September 20th, ensuring the people of East Palestine are protected now and in the future. Do you know they were trying to, and they did, when that train derailment happened in East Palestine, and the people are still getting sick. But what they do is they are suppressing their story so it don't get out. So every time they try to put a story out, they will try to keep it out of the media or keep it, you know, or if it does make it in the press, only a small amount of people will know about it. But they have literally suppressed these people's voices and trying to pretend like, oh, they weren't getting sick and they didn't detect any chemicals in their house and all that stuff, and it's all a lie. And I remember the last time I did a story on East Palestine, it got demonetized. So yeah, they are trying to do everything to stifle their voices. So anyway, now, hey, that's their own people they're doing that to. So the 29th of September 2023, the continuance of certain federal advisory committees and amendments to other executive orders. All right, so October 30th, 2023, safe, secure, and trustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence. November 27th, Intra-Agency Security Committee. All right, December 6th. I'm already at the end of the year. December 6th, 2023. Reforming federal funding and support for tribal nations to better embrace our trust, responsibility, and promote the next era of tribal self determination. Now, isn't that for a specific group of people? But see, when we say do something just for us, they take issue with it. But you can clearly see they do things for specific people in his executive orders. Here's an example right here. All right, December 21st, 2023, adjustments of certain rates of pay. That must be federal employees right there. And the last one that he did for 2023 was done on the 22nd of December, taking additional steps with respect to the Russian Federation's harmful activities. So that's it. And you can clearly see he didn't do a thing for us in none of his executive orders. None. And let this be an example of what's coming if this man is reelected in 2024. All right. He is not going to do, he's already demonstrated well before he even became president that he's never going to do anything for us. And he demonstrated it in going on what, 4 years in office. Yeah, he's not going to do anything for us. Mm-mm. So this is it. This is what he did for the whole year in executive orders. Mm-mm-mm. Doesn't look like he care about us. That's why, it would make, well, if they had common sense, these churches would keep this man out of their churches from speaking. If he does not want to do anything for the community, why even listen to a thing he has to say? You shouldn't listen to nothing this man got to say. That's it. Once these politicians demonstrate they are not doing a thing for us, you should show them they are not going to ever get another opportunity to get in front of us to talk. If they want to talk, tell them to go down to the tent city where the migrants are and stand there and talk to them. That's what you do. Send them over there to these shelters where the migrants are and tell them to stand and give their political statements and pitches to them. Or they can have a rally in the Asian neighborhoods around the country. Set up your tents or your little carnival and have them all come out and pitch your statements and your political rallies. Give that to them. I mean, you got people you can get in front of. Go ahead and get in front of them. There's shelters in Chicago you can go to, New York. There's some here in my state. You can go to Denver and get in front of those migrants and give your political speeches and everything. See, you got somewhere to go, Democrats. You got somewhere to go. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, you do. But yeah, they're running game on our community once again. If they really wanted to do something for the community, they had years to do it. But see, now you're going to see the CBC come out because they already said they were going to address reparations and that, but it's a load of BS. We already know it. We already know it. So let them come out and and give their little BS speech. Nobody's going to buy it when they do. They're not addressing anything concerning the police. They claim they're going to do that too. We need action. We don't need you to get in front of us babbling about these things. We already know about these things. Don't keep coming and babbling. Just do something. Get something passed. And he has the ability to do executive orders. He can do an executive order regarding the police and a crime bill. He did an executive order for those Asians. So, yeah, well, standing there and talking, that's not going to cut it, Democrats. That's not going to cut it. You're going to have to do a hell of a lot more than that. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's an insult for them to even think they're going to get in front of our people and do a repeat of 2020. It's not going to go over at all. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, designer boys. I'm glad you brought up Dr. Cornell West because they are still in fear of him getting black votes because they said those are votes that he's taking away from Joe Biden, but Joe Biden is not going to get those votes anyway. But that's what they've been, yammering about. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude, but please come back. The one that I got coming up about the migrants getting cars and they're in tent city shelters, you got to hear this one. It is crazy. Let's just put it this way. They got these cars, y'all, pricey cars. I'm not talking about little cheap cars, pricey cars. The cars had no license plate, no registration, and they got the car with no license. But they had these cars. And when New York City found out about it, they went out and told those cars. And now they're like, how the hell did they get the resources to even get these cars in the first place? And they were like, some American citizens can't even do this. So y'all make sure you come back. I think you're going to find this one real interesting. But these migrants, these are the same, listen, these are the same migrants that went door to door begging for money, food, and clothing. They're from that same shelter that went door to door, y'all. The same shelter. But they managed to get some pricey behind cars. And they were staying in a tent shelter. Now, here in America, when you go out to try to get a car, they want you to have insurance. They want you to get the car registered. They want to make sure you got a driver's license. You got to have certain things in order to get a car. Well, these migrants didn't have none of them things, and they were still able to go out here and get pretty decent cars. Go figure. Woo, this place is going to hell in a handbasket for real, y'all. But I will see y'all all back. That should be around 1:30. Make sure you come back for this one. Shalom, family.